conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Hi all, good morning. So before I start the demo, let me introduce myself. I have overall 15 years of experience. Okay, I have put in the back 13 only, but I have overall 15 years of experience. I started my career with Abap. Then I moved to SAP UI5, Fiori, Abap ODATA. I worked on Abap ODATA, Fiori Elements, SAP UI5. Okay, and also I worked on S4 Hana implementation projects, and also I worked on various services in BTP, Abap service, Abap on cloud. I worked on CAPM, Node.js. Okay, I worked on the integration suite services, SAP Build Work Zone, SAP Build Process Automation. Okay, I worked on mobility services. I worked on PDMS. A lot of services I have worked in the BTP. I'm currently working also. So that is my experience. And coming to the my training from more than almost 9 years. I'm giving training on various topics like SAP FI, Fiori, Abap OData, BTP, CAPM, Node.js, RAP on BTP, Abap on cloud, okay, Abap CDS use, Fiori elements, okay, as for HANA app and side-by-side extensions. These are various training I'm giving. Okay, so that is my coming to my training. So let's start the demo. Okay, so what are the today's agenda topics which I'll be covering is SAP evolution. So from the starting date to till date, in the technology perspective or integrations perspective, what are the evolutions has come in SAP that I'm going to discuss, and what is ABAP on cloud? Yes, ABAP is itself is in the cloud. So what exactly it does ABAP in the cloud? We are going to discuss, and what is BTP? So now everyone we are talking about BTP. So what is BTP? So next is RAP. Okay, Abap Restfull application programming model. So what is RAP? What exactly it's a framework will help us to develop the applications that we are going to discuss. As for Hana, in-app and side-by-side extensions, what are those we are going to discuss? Evolution of the web. So what evolution has come in Abap that we are going to discuss? SAP Fiori and one use case demo. So we are going to develop one RAP application, and we are going to consume that RAP application into the business application studio in BTP, okay, and display the app. So this is what which we are going to uh, discuss, or topics which I am going to cover in today's demo. Okay. Now next come back. So here the journey, everyone knows the journey of the ABAP has started with the classical programming model. Okay, but when the time passed, right, okay, the business trends started changing, and the market begins to evolve with cloud and mobile applications significantly in digital infrastructure. From the starting day we have a classical, then we move to the day, and they keep on the days are coming passing, and then now everything is in the cloud and the mobile applications. Yes or no? So now, where the best recognized practice for programming is the ABAP programming model, and means before RAP has come into the picture. So we used to have a ABAP programming model on Fury, and now it is nothing but now we have a RAP. So I look at the see the journey of the evolutions. If you look at this, all the journey of the evolutions, okay, we are seeing the several areas in ABAP SAP. See, now everything is in cloud, okay, because and also everything we are trying to open in the mobile apps. Okay, so before RAP come, we used to have a technology called ABAP programming model on Fury. Okay, and now it got upgraded. Now we are moving to RAP. So during this journey, okay, everything, okay, whatever the journey which I'm going to show in another 10 minutes, okay, is it's not, I'm not going to say that this has come first and that has come first. No, I'm going to say that what are the evolutions, what are the interfaces, and what are the integrations has been introduced from the starting date to till date. I'm going to discuss. Okay, from the SAP Traveler point of view, many tools has been arrived, several techniques were developed, and also new concepts are emerged in the context of the interfaces, infrastructures, and integrations in SAP. Yes, absolutely, very lot of new concepts has come into the picture. Okay, and also related to the interfaces, infrastructures, and integrations in SAP. Okay, the picture which I'm going to show, I'm just showing you in the screen, is does not depict any priority index for using this technique. It is just a representation of arrival of different techniques in the in the sequence of the chronology. Means I am not going to say SOAP has come first, IDOC has come next or last. I'm not. I'm saying going to say only that these are the techniques which SAP has introduced. That is what which I want to talk about. Clear? Okay. The everyone knows that file exchange. Okay. So interface based on the file exchange is one of the oldest technique where we used to transfer the data to the third party system from SAP. Yes, using the A11, we'll put the file in the A11, and from the we'll run some script where we'll pick the file from the OS level, pick the file from the A11, and dump into the third party. Right. So without any complex coding and configurations, okay, using FTP and SFTP, the file can be transferred from SAP to any third party systems. Right. So using this, okay, we have, you can see you have a ERP, okay, and we used to transfer the file to the business partner. But okay, with the arrival of PI, process integration, the extracted file from the SAP is sent first to the PI, where mappings and conversations happens based on the requirements where third party is expecting. Then once it is done in the PI, then we are sending the file into the desired format which external vendor is asking, whether it can be a JSON format or XML format, etc. Is it clear? So this is what which we used to follow. The file exchange is the oldest technique, but till today also people are using this technique to transfer the file from their SAP system to the external vendor using PI. Okay, yeah. Any questions? So using this technique, we are just still using this technique. Still today also people are using this technique to transfer the data. Okay, the biggest advantage, the biggest advantage of introducing NetWeaver PI as a middleware for the data transfer is that whatever the format of type of data file which this external vendor is asking, it is possible to convert that file into that format and then send to the business partner. Okay, okay. So which is not flexible for the ERP system to do that. So that is the reason we have first we used to have only ERP and we used to send the file, but afterwards we used to have a NetWeaver PI and we used to convert mappings, we used to do conversion, we used to do encryption, we used to do, and we used to send this file to the external vendor. Is it clear? So this is the one of the oldest technique which we are following up. Correct, right? Any questions, guys? So this is the technique which we are following it. The next is the RFC. Okay, another approach. Okay, under the classical model, this is also old approach only, is a remote function call. Okay, where RFC interface used to set up a communication between SAP and non-SAP systems. Okay, and also between the two SAP systems. It runs on the concept of the client server architecture. Okay, so what will happen? See, let us assume that I have a non-SAP product and I will be creating an RFC function model. I will be enabling the remote enable. Okay, then the third party person will call our function model into the systems. Okay, the client seeks for a function to perform and makes a call to RFC server. The function is executed in the remote system on the server side and it can be synchronous. Okay, so this is what which we used to do. For example, it is a Java application they're using. They used to install the RFC plugins and they used to call this function module into the code. Okay, that is SAP to non-SAP system. Even we have SAP to SAP system also. We can use the RFCs. Clear? So this is the oldest technique. This is also oldest technique. Today also people are using this technique. Next is the IDOC. Everyone will be knowing IDOC. So intermediate document is another old approach, very old approach, but till today people are using the IDOC. Okay, but proven technique to communicate between SAP to SAP or SAP to non-SAP systems. Right? IDOC interface provides a file format. Yes, we have a file format for exchanging the data between systems. The format of the data file consists of structures, fields with positions, length, and also further divided into headers, data segments, and status of the record. So whenever we create a IDOC, absolutely we need to have a divided into data segments, status of the record. Okay, the IDOC structure has fields with positions and length. So this all it is in a format which we are sending it. Okay, the communication via IDOC interface is based on the framework provided by SAP called ALE, means Application Link Enabling. So using this IDOC, we used to transfer the data between SAP to SAP as well as SAP to non-SAP systems also. Means if you want to transfer the data from SAP to non-SAP systems, we can use EDI, Electronic Data Interchange. Is it clear? So using this one also, we used to transfer the data extensively. People used to use IDOC to transfer the data from SAP to SAP or SAP to non-SAP systems. Right. So next is a even we used to transfer directly, but we used to have a middleware like PI. Okay, where with the introduction of the middleware like PI, okay, it has become very easy and flexible to communicate okay data between in-house SAP systems and as well as the outside the company. Okay, now what is advantage of PIM? For example, there are a lot of non-SAP systems are capable of sending messages on SOAP protocol to the middleware PI, which our PI will converts format into the IDOC file and sends to SAP. You understand? So let us assume that why PI is required. I'm going to talk about. So this is our SAP system and this is our non-SAP system. And this is our SAP system. Okay. So the IDOC technology is available only in SAP system. It is not available in them. The non-SAP system supports the SOAP service. Let us assume. So now till today, even let us assume not only PI, we have even CPA also. Okay. Let us assume this, it can be PI or it can be CPA also. CPI is Cloud Process Integration. It is one of the service in BTP. Okay. So now, but non-SAP system which has only the SOAP protocol, they will not be having this IDOC concept. So what they will do that they will send the data SOAP using SOAP protocol. So now this CPI or CPI will convert that into our IDOC file format and it will be sending to the our SAP system. So that is the reason, okay, PI and CPI are going to play very key role in you for the sending the IDOC, because SOAP, the non-SAP systems don't know any IDOC format or they are not even compatible to IDOC, because if they send they will send using the SOAP service or ODATA service and everything. So they don't have the IDOC. IDOC is only in the SAP system. So this PI or CPI will convert into the IDOC file format and send to the SAP system. Okay, so now SAP sends the IDOC file back to the PA or CPA and returns a response in the IDOC file. The sending message by SAP is termed as outbound IDOC and receiving is known as inbound IDOC. Unlike RFC interfaces, generally IDOC interfaces are asynchronous. Clear? Any questions? Anyone have any questions, guys? Is it clear? So now what is the
Sir,
role of, yeah.
sir, what is the difference between IDOC and RFC? Both are related to migrating the data.
Yeah, both are related to the sending the data. Okay, but there are both are different techniques. Okay, so coming to the IDOC, you can reprocess it. For example, it is failed. Okay, there are a lot of advantage of in IDOC where we can reprocess it, or you can see the statuses of the IDOC, whether it went or not. A lot of data we can use it IDOC, and also it is tightly integrated with our standard T codes, creating purchase order, creating invoices, or creating the sales order. So it is tightly integrated. So when we want a tight integration, for example, let us assume that external system is sending some data, and based on data, automatically we need to create a purchase requisition. So it would be the tight integration if you use IDOC. Automatically it will be created. Okay, the PR. And so those type of use, it depends upon your requirement when to use, whether to use IDOC, whether to use RFC, or it's up to your requirement. Based on your requirement, you can use it. There are different techniques. That's what a lot of techniques SAP has introduced. Based on our requirement, we will be using the technique. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Next, coming back to the SOAP, right? So with SOAP stands for the Simple Object Access Protocol. Okay, with SAP version 7.0 and NetWeaver, SAP introduced a new technology called web services for communicating and exchanging the data between SAP and SAP, as well as SAP and non-SAP. So there is another protocol that is called SOAP service. So using the SOAP service, to till date, SOAP is one of the best to send the data when you have a huge data. Okay, when you have a huge data, SOAP service is one of the best technique. Even in the BTP also, we want to transfer the data using CPA, we use SOAP service with a huge data. Okay, so one can say that SOAP is messaging protocol that is supported by version 7.0 onwards with NetWeaver, and it is an internet based technology. To call the functions, HTTP protocol is used, and the client receives the details of the parameters and functions in the form of WSDL, okay, which is nothing but web service description language, okay, which is retrieved through the URL. So the exchange of the communication using SOAP is via XML messages. So you can access the SOAP URL, okay, and you can get the data. So the mode of processing is generally will happen asynchronously, but depends on the requirement, because whenever you have a huge data, definitely it should run in asynchronous. Right? So using SOAP service, it's always whenever you study, it's the best approach to till date is SOAP service. So what it helps us, it provides the technique for communication called reliable messaging, that is called RF. What will happen? This will make sure that the receiver system has received the message for sure. Okay, and also the SOAP interface can support any middleware, preferably CPA or PI systems. Means you can send from SAP system SOAP service, you can send to the middleware like PI or CPA, and they will be doing some mapping on everything, and then they will CPA will send or PA will send the data to the third party systems. Okay, the delta transfer is possible on a real time basis. Okay, in the real time only you can send it. The transfer of payloads can be configured. Okay, so the queue, if, for example, let us assume if the queue is stuck or blocked for some reason, then transfer or replication does not take place until the queue is unblocked or restarted. So this is the drawback of the SOAP services. Okay, so using the SOAP service, we will be able to transfer the huge data. It is an URL based, and we can send using the HTTPS protocol only. We'll be able to send it. HTTPS only we will be sending the data. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. Then is the SAP S4 HANA has come into the picture. Okay, it is a main revolution, right? S4, it is a fourth version of the ERP business. It's, provided by the SAP, okay, which is of HANA in-memory database. Yes, okay, this is a revolution which has started. Yes or no? This is a revolution which has started in SAP. Then afterwards, a lot of new technologies SAP has started introducing. Right, okay, so it is an evolution both in technology and the concept in SAP. So after S4 HANA, we are seeing lot of changes in SAP technology perspective, interfaces perspective, okay, infrastructure perspective. I would not say every 1 week or we are seeing new things are coming, whether it is in S4 HANA cloud, whether it is in a public cloud, private cloud, on-premises system, okay, BTP, every day we are seeing new things are coming. So because of the, once the SAP S4 HANA has come into the picture, the evolution has happened in both in technology and the concept in SAP after it got released in the 2015. right? Over the period, it has proven that no matter how complex or the business requirements are, how large the data is, S4HANA is capable to deal with it every problem, and it is available in the cloud, on premises, and okay, it is available in both cloud and on premises. S4HANA. Okay, S4HANA follows the code to data paradigm, which uses the mechanism of code push down, which means that until now, we know the architecture of R3. Whenever we run the code, our code is running in application server, right? If you look at in ECC, we have a three-tier architecture. Anyone tell me what is three-tier architecture? Which is database. Another one is application server,
Presentation server.
presentation server. Right. So in the older approach, we used to go to SE38, even now also, even if people are in S4HANA, but I'm just telling, we used to write the total select queries. Okay. And we used to write the Abap logic. Where in the SE38, when I execute, okay, it is running in the application server, not on the database. That is the architecture of the ECC three-tier architecture. But when introduce the S4HANA, okay, we call it as code push down approach, which means when you develop your CDS views in the Eclipse, okay, so all your CDS views are running on the top of the database, not on the application server. Okay, so in memory database there it is running. So when it is running on the top of the database, obviously the performance will be very good. Not only fetching the data, you can do as much as possible simple calculations, SQL functions, arithmetic functions, okay, as much as case statements you can use in the CDS view, which is running on the top of the database, so that is called the code push down approach. So the performance will be reduced drastically. So that is the advantage of using the S4HANA, and that is the reason we call it as code push down approach. What you can do in CDS, what is code push down approach? In the CDS views itself, you can do as much as possible calculations instead of doing into the application server. So now once you create a CDS view, you can consume the CDS view in your SE38, and remaining Abap logic you can write it. Whenever you execute SE38, this will call your CDS view, but that CDS view is fetching on the top of the database in memory and getting the data, and then it is dumping into the application server. So whenever you execute, it is not total putting on the application server. So while using the CDS views, you will not see any dumps in your report programs. And also it will fast executing. So all your select queries, if you put everything in CDS view, retrieve once, then retrieving that CDS view in your report program will reduce drastically your execution time. Clear? So that is called, we call it as code push down approach in the SAP S4HANA. Is it clear? Any questions? Okay, to make the data pull easy for everyone, okay, from the DB layer, SAP S4HANA has introduced the concept of information models. Like we have analytical views, calculation views, decision tables, and lot of things. So SAP S4HANA emerging technologies, we have CDS views, okay, OAM, Open Item Analytics, CDS table functions, and AMDP. Okay, these are the techniques which SAP has introduced in SAP S4HANA, and still it is day by day we are seeing a lot of new things are coming in the SAP S4HANA, whether it is a private cloud, public cloud, or on premises. Clear? Any questions? No questions. Perfect. Next is the ODATA. Yes, ODATA stands for the Open Data Protocol. As okay, so as also OData wrap It is a framework, but it uses the OData protocol only, and it will get exposed. Okay, so it will get exposed using the OData protocol only. Okay, so what I want to tell you, right? OData is a framework. That's all. Okay, using this framework, we are going to expose the data to the outside world. Okay, even Abap OData, which we develop ACGW, it when it tries to expose the data, it uses OData protocol. RAP is a framework. It has its own framework, but when you try to expose it, it uses OData framework to expose it to the outside world. Okay, so OData facilitates the best practices for building and consuming RESTful APIs. Okay, so coming to the concept of OData is open. It can be consumed by any applications, any program, any software, any devices. So you don't want required a middleware also. So once you expose the OData, I can write in the code. There is nothing. I can write. I'm not required to install anything. I can just write in Java code, call this OData. I'll get the data. I can go to the Angular.js. I can just call this OData, not required to install anything. Just call this OData. I'll get the data. Okay. So that is the reason. It is not required. It can be consumed by any programming, any applications, any software, any devices. Clear? Any questions? Any questions, guys? Is it clear? No questions. Perfect. So next is the CDS and BOPF. Yes, core data services, which is very, what I would say, okay, very popular in the market, because everything in S4 HANA cloud or public cloud or private cloud or okay, RAP or everywhere, we are going to use CDS. Okay, it's nothing but core data services, which means in the application layer, CDS is defined to extract the data from the data layer to present it to the application. Okay, the function is similar to the SQL statements, but data provided is semantically rich as it contains readable annotations. Okay, it creates during runtime, okay, runtime object in the underlying database and also the data dictionary object. Okay, so instead of applying the inner joins on the DB tables directly, CDS uses the abstraction with a new concept called associations. Okay, so where we are going to develop the CDSU, we are going to develop the CDS in ADT, that is called Abap development, that is called Eclipse. Okay, so this SQL query is automatically generated at runtime in order to select the data from DB layer. Okay, the application communicates to CDS instead of the DB layer. So that performance of the CDS views is far better when compared to the normal select queries in the EC38 or whatever in the application. Clear? Any questions?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, is necessary CDS and S4 HANA knowledge before starting RAP?
Yes, absolutely. The base to develop the RAP is CDS view. Okay. So we will be touching starting from the CDS views only in my training. So I'm going to start with the CDS views from the scratch.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Then only we'll move to RAP.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions?
So do we need to have a basic prerequisite as Abap before we start the CDS or RAP?
Yes, absolutely. We required a basic. So what I'm doing, right? Those who are taking this training, I'm providing the free Abap recording videos. Okay. So, but in that recording videos, I don't have everything Abap because Abap is another ocean. So I have prepared in such a way with a basic Abap and little bit advanced Abap so that they can easily understand this training, RAP training. Is it clear?
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Any more questions?
We start BOPF?
Yeah, no. BOPF, I'm coming to that point. Okay. So we'll discuss about the BOPF. See, the reason is BOPF is Business Object Process Framework. Okay. So now what is happening with it? Whenever we want to do transactional behaviors in the Fiori app, okay, we used to use this BOPF. Now BOPF is completely deprecating and everything we are moving into the wrap. Okay, so now the approach is wrap. BOPF is deprecated. CDS view will be available in the wrap, but BOPF is no more available required. So completely in wrap only. Is it clear? Any questions? Okay. So now coming to the wrap. Anyone knows what is wrap?
RESTful application programming.
Okay, then. Okay. So wrap is nothing but it is an open source framework for writing the HTTP APIs like SOAP or REST. Okay, that is called the wrap. Okay, so using this HTTP protocol web API can refer to the API on the internet. Okay, since it is just a concept, it is just a concept. Wrap is nothing but a concept. Okay, finally it is exposing as an API or ODATA, so that can be consumed by any technology with Java, .NET, etc. Okay, so we'll come in detail about wrap, but what I want to do, wrap is bringing you the best concept, best language, okay, best framework where you can use these frameworks and languages so that the developer will become very easily to develop the web applications. That is called the wrap. Is it clear?
Is it mainly to create web applications?
It is mainly to create the APIs and as well as you can easily consume in the Fiori applications or data services.
Okay, Fiori apps can be created.
Yes, consumed. It can be consumed in the Fiori apps. Okay. Next. Now we'll discuss about the evolution of the Abap. Okay. So as of now, we discussed about the SAP evolutions, overall evolutions. Now we'll discuss about the evolution of Abap. Okay. So if your system is in ECC or business suite, okay, and if you have upgraded or you have installed SAP NetWeaver gateway components in your ECC system and you used to have an Oracle DB before in ECC system, okay, so that time, okay, what you can do, the only thing you can do, you can develop user exits, baddies, enhancements, okay, or you can do ODATA service. That's all our SOAP services. But if you are upgraded, means you have upgraded your systems to S4 HANA public or on-premises, private clouds, okay, on-premises system or as an S4 HANA cloud, and your layer, which I'm talking about, ABAP layer, which is there in S4 HANA public cloud, private cloud, on-premises system, will be available, ABAP layer will be available, and you will be connecting to HANA DB. Now, what is evolution of ABAP? The evolution of the ABAP layer is happening everything in SAP wrap. That is called Abap Restfull Application Programming Model, or in the SAP Cloud Platform environment called Abap. Is it clear? So even if your on-premises system is greater than or equal to S4 HANA 1909, or if you are in S4 HANA cloud or public cloud, wrap is available. Okay, so all the evolutions of Abap is now happening in wrap methodology. Any questions? Any questions? No questions. Next. So evolution of the Abap programming model, right? So if you were just now we spoke about if your system is less than or equal to 7.5, You used to have a classical programming model, normal enhancements, baddies, user exits, workflow, IDOCs, that's all you can do, SOAP services or ODATA. But if your system is greater than or equal to 7.5, you used to have a ABAP programming model on Fiori. You used to have SCGW at the rate OData, okay, and you used to have a CDS fuse and CDS based BOPF. Now, if you are in the cloud environment, as well as if your SAP S4HANA system is greater than or equal to 1909, we used to have ABAP Restfull application programming model. Instead of SCGW also will get deprecated slowly. Everything will be business services in RAP. Okay, CDSV you can see it's available in the RAP methodology. BOPF is completely deprecated. Everything we call it as behavior definition implementation in RAP. So overall, apart from the CDSOs, everything will get deprecated slowly. So everything is RAP. Any questions?
No, actually, what is the difference of this ABAP environment in BTP and S4HANA?
What is the difference between the
The
ABAP
ABAP
and
environment in BTP and the S4HANA
okay?
RAP.
So yeah, sure. So let us assume that you are a company. Okay, you don't have entire ERP product. Okay, you don't want, your business is focusing on developing the small applications. Okay, then what you would go? You go to the BTP and purchase the ABAP service in BTP, where you can use that service and you can build ABAP applications. Okay, whereas RAP, which is available in on-premises system, where you should have entire LANs, entire ERP, which you need to purchase. You see the difference? If your system is only limited, you go and top up BTP and you will just buy the ABAP services, ABAP service in BTP. That's all. But in the when you are planning to buy S4HANA cloud, a public cloud, a private cloud, or on-premises system, you need to purchase entire landscape, right? Entire ERP product. So in that RAP is available. So now you understood what is the difference between the ABAP environment as well as the normal ABAP RAP, which is available in on-premises system. Is it clear?
Yeah, but we can able to connect from ABAP environment to S4.
If you want, yes, you can connect. ABAP service in BTP, you can connect to the your S4HANA system. Yes, you can connect.
Fine.
Yeah. Any more questions?
So in the BTP, is it like a build or build code? That is the tool used, or is there a separate one for RESTful?
Come again. What is your question? Sorry.
So in a BTP, there's something like a BTP build and BTP build code and all. Correct?
Okay. Okay. I understood. See, you are talking about SAP build code, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
SAP build code is one of the service in BTP. Okay, where we can develop the Fiori applications, where we can develop the CAP applications. So without writing any code, it will auto-generated code. That is how Joule will come into the picture. And it will, when you type it, it will give the code and you will put it and you will use it. That is called SAP build code. So it is nothing related to the ABAP. Okay, but recently they have introduced even ABAP also in the SAP build code. Okay, so that also I think it has just introduced just 1 month back. So even I have not gone through it using SAP build. There is one service called SAP ABAP also is available, but I have not gone through it. But generally, if you want to develop the RAP applications, we use only the Eclipse.
Eclipse. Okay.
Yes, where we will be adding the ABAP service in your Eclipse and you will start developing your RAP applications or ABAP on cloud. Clear?
Clear. Got it. Thank you.
Any more questions? No questions. Perfect. Next. So now coming back to the RAP. So what is RAP? Before getting into the RAP, okay, we discussed about the ABAP service in BTP, where it is available. ABAP service in BTP, it is available in the BTP, right? So what is BTP? Anyone knows what is BTP? Anyone knows what is BTP?
It's a platform, like multiple applications can be used, interface with HANA and non-SAP systems and all.
Okay. Okay. So now SAP BTP offers variety of runtime like Java, Node.js, Hana. Now it is Abap. SAP BTP supports necessary runtime. For example, if you want to write the code related to C in Notepad, we cannot run because we require C compiler. If you want to run a Java program, we have to install Java runtime, so-called JRE. And similarly, if you want to run a ABAP program, we required ABAP layer which can understand your code, compile your code, check for syntax errors, it executes your code, and that runtime environment is part of BTP. So this is we call as service as platform as service. So BTP is not specific for the ABAP. You bring any language, I'm going to support. That is called the BTP. Apart from the runtime environment, BTP is providing lot of services where we can use the service and we can develop the out-of-the-box solutions. For example, I want to develop a mobile app. So what I can use mobile services. Suppose I want to do integrations with third-party systems. I can use CPI. Suppose I want to use a Fiori Launchpad. There is SAP build work zone service is there to set up the. I want to store my files into the BTP. There is a service called document management service. So there are a lot of services which SAP is providing, okay, where we can use a service and we can build out of the box. And also we call it as Gen AI. Now everything we are talking about Gen AI. Now everyone are talking about Joule. So this all are available in the BTP as a service. Clear? Any questions? Anyone have any questions about BTP? Next. So now what is Abap Restful Application Programming Model? Okay. So before going to that, okay, I said that Abap is one of the service in BTP. Okay. When we move from normal Abap to the new one, okay, and we want to build side-by-side extensions, and we want to build new dimensions on Abap Restful. We can build this new dimension in the Abap Restful Application Programming Model. Okay, so we know that BOPF is an intermediate transaction fee app, but with BOPF is getting replaced with the app. So ABAP RESTful application programming model is a new vibe in the list of the ABAP style of programming model focused on building end-to-end custom business applications using the components like CDS views. Okay, for fetching the data. And for manipulations, we are going to do behavior definition implementations. And for consuming in the APIs or ODATA service, we are going to do service definition and service implementations. Okay, so finally, RAP is nothing but it has the best concepts, best tools, best frameworks, best languages, best practices. This will help for the developers to develop the applications in efficient way. That is called RAP. So RAP, what we can do with RAP, we can do with RAP service developments, means we can do we can develop SAP Fiori UI services, and also we can develop web APIs. With the help of RAP, you can do greenfield developments as well as brownfield developments. RAP is available on public cloud, private cloud, as well as it is available in on-premises system greater than or equal to 1909. Understood? Now, understood what is RAP? Is it clear? Anyone have any questions?
So when you say that it is available in the public cloud, is it through BTP or it's available through BTP or separately?
See, you are talking about two things here. When you talk about in BTP, we have one service called Abap service in BTP. Okay, so using the service, we can build RAP application that not required any S4HANA cloud, public cloud or private cloud.
Okay, yeah.
Got it? Okay. Yeah. Any more questions? So now understood what we discussed about RAP is bringing you the best concepts, best tools, best frameworks, best languages, and best practices, right? So now what are those? These are those. Okay, so you have a database table. Okay, you will be using the CDS view to fetch the data from the database table. Okay, now what you will do, you will on the top of the CDS view, you will create one root view. okay, which we will be writing in the data definition language, which fetch the data from the CDS view. Then you will be able to restrict the data in CDS view using the concept called data access control. Okay, you can add UI annotations to the Fiori app using the metadata extensions, that is called annotations. So you will be able to define all the things in behavior definition, what you will define, whether you want to create a record, whether you want to delete the record, whether you want to update the record, whether you want to read the record, okay, whether you want to do actions, validations, verifications, everything you will be defining in the behavior definitions. That is called, you will put it in the behavior definition language. So what you define in the behavior definition, you will be doing an implementation in here. That's why we call it Abap behavior implementation. So inside this implementation, you will be writing the Abap code. So you see, it is a framework. It is providing you the framework for us, tool for us. Best concept, yes, this is the concept which has brought, okay, and best language and best practices. All this framework has come because based on the best practices which the SAP, and then based on the research and everything, they came up with the best practice. So that is what we call it as RAP. Any questions, guys? Is it clear? Now understood what is RAP? No questions. Perfect. Now we will develop a small application. Okay. So what we will do, right? I'm going to create a table in Eclipse. I'm going to create an interface view that reads from the table. Then I'm going to create a consumption view that reads from the interface view, and I'll create a metadata extension files. Then instead of this is old approach, SCGW and ODATA will get deprecated, and this is the old approach. What is new approach is this one. Okay, creating a table, creating an interface view that reads from this table, creating a consumption view that reads from the interface view, create a metadata extension files. Now this all the green are the additional steps such as coming to the RAP. Okay, you are telling in the old approach you have very less steps, but in the new approach you are giving lot of steps. Then what is it made it easy? What are the new things is define entity for business object. We need to define the behavior definitions, implement behavior definitions, behavior projections, service definition, and service binding. So define entities for the business object means in RAP methodology, whenever we consume a CDSU, which is a parent, we call it as business object. Okay. Now in the behavior definition, just spoke whether you want to create the record, delete the record, update the record, okay, actions, validations, verifications, everything we'll be defining in the behavior definitions. Implement behavior definitions, we will be implementing what we define in the behavior definition, we'll write the Abap code. Then what is behavior projections? Suppose in the behavior definition, I am using create, update, delete. When you're projecting means it is projecting to your Fiori app. So you're telling the requirement is I don't want delete. So you will put only create and delete in the behavior projections, and that only will be consumed in the Fiori app. That will be consumed in the service definitions, and will create a service binding based on the service definition, which will generate a OData URL or an API in the service binding. So this is the entire flow which we follow to create a RAP applications. Any questions? No questions. Next. So now you are telling old approach has very less steps and new approach RAP has more steps. What advantage I'm getting? So let us assume that in we created a RAP application with a OData V2 service. Okay, then the client says that, hey, now V4 has come into the picture, OData V4 version V4. Okay, you start using OData V4. In the olden approach, like SCGW and everything, we need to develop from the scratch. Whereas in the latest approach, you don't want to do anything from the scratch. You will just create a new service binding. This last step, you will create a new service binding based on the service definition which you have with OData V4. Then automatically OData V4 will come into the picture. So that is the reason we required additional steps, extra steps in RAP methodology. Is it how flexible it is? Tomorrow V6 has come. I will not do anything from the scratch. This all I will not do. I will just create a new service binding with the service definition. I'll create the service binding with V6. Done. V6, OData V6 you're using. Okay, any questions? Anyone have any questions? No questions. So now what I am going to do, right? See, you have a database table, you have a CDS view, okay, and you are trying to using the CDS view, trying to fetch the data from the database table, and you will create a behavior definition. And on the top of the behavior definition, we have to create behavior implementations. Then using the CDS view, you will create a service definition, and service definition will be consuming in service binding, which will be generate a OData URL, and this OData URL will be consumed in the Fiori applications. So let's start developing one Fiori applications. So this is the demo only, right? So I'll just copy paste the CDS views, but in training, I'll be writing every line of the code during training. Okay. Any questions, guys, until now? Anyone have any questions?
When will be the training will start?
Training will start on 17th, November 17th.
Okay, timings?
Timings I will discuss.
Okay.
Okay, we'll discuss timings.
Are we covering clean core concepts as well?
I will keep the detail what I'm going to cover. I'll show you. Okay, just wait.
Unmanaged app also you will cover?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. See, yeah. Let us just go for demo. What I'm going to do, right? It's not going to detail level. Okay, I'll give only high level. Okay, so I'm just going to my favorite packages. I'm going to the data dictionary. I'm going to the database table. I'm just right clicking. New database table. So Z, I would say sales. Okay. Sales tab. Click next. Send a transport request and finish button. Okay. So now I'm just copying and pasting because this is a demo. Okay, I'm just creating a table. Okay, so now I'm going to create a CDS view. Data definitions. Right click. So I'm going to follow the naming conventions. C stands for consumption view. Module is SD module and sales demo. I'm just kidding. Okay, click next. Send a transport request. Here I'll give define root view because in this I don't have parent and child. I have only one parent. So that is the reason I make it root view entity and I'm clicking on finish button. Okay. So now here I'm going to put very simple use case I'm going to do. Okay, I'm just going to put my table name. Okay, so this is the demo only. That is the reason I'm going to fields and I'm adding UI annotations in this one. The UI annotations are nothing but where we are enhancing. See, you know, right? In the report program, what you do, you create all the field catalogs and you will put it into the internal table and you will use the reuse LV display function module and you will put that internal table and bind to the function module. In the same way, these UI annotations are nothing but a field catalogs. Means you are enhancing your template which SAP is providing by adding the columns in the table. Okay, this is what UI annotations. Okay, now I'm going to activate it. I have created a table. Okay, I created a CDS view now. Okay, to fetch the data from database table. Now I'm going to create a behavior definition. Okay, so where is it? ZC score ST. Yeah, here it is. Right click. I'm going to create a new behavior definitions. As of now, it's a demo. I'm using managed use case. If you use the managed use case, the framework itself will take care of creating the record, updating the record, deleting the record will take care by the framework itself. So click next, assign a transport request and finish button. Okay, I'll make it very simple.
Manager case means it is a not unmanaged wrap. You mean to say directly?
Sorry, come again.
What is a manager case means? Directly it will
Managed
update.
means no. Managed means the framework itself will take care of creating the record, updating the record, deleting the record. Will be the framework will be take care of. There is nothing we need to write the code. That is called the
Okay.
managed.
Okay.
Okay.
But what else? What are the other options we have over there apart from managed?
Unmanaged.
Only two. Okay.
Yeah. I'll show you one more time if you want. This is the one. I'm just creating again new behavior definition. You can see managed, unmanaged.
Okay.
Okay. So I created the behavior definition. Okay, now in this demo, I'm not creating behavior implementations. So I'm just directly going and creating a service definition based on our business object, right? What is my business object? This is my business object. So now I'm going to right click. Okay, I'm going to go and create a service definitions. In the service definition, I'm consuming my business object. Just mute yourself if you don't have any questions. Okay, here you see I'm in the service definition, I'm exposing my business object, my CDSU, right? Once I create a behavior definitions, come back. Once I create a service definitions, I'm going to create a service binding. Business service definitions, and here it is service definition. Right click, new service binding. Now you can see now this is what I want to talk about. Okay, here I am going to create service binding with ODATA v2 Fiori app. Okay, now I'm clicking next and assign a transport request and finish button. Okay, now I'm going to activate it and I'm going to publish it. Now I'm going to right click, copy Fiori element app URL, and here I'm just pasting this URL. See, everything has come automatically because I use a template, Fiori element template. Okay, now yes, I consumed it. Now let's come back to over here. Now you go to your data dictionary table, and if you want to run it, you can run as Abap applications. So you can see, of course, there is no data here. So now we click on create button. Okay, I'm entering one sales order number and customer name, sales org, amount, currency. Okay, and I'm just clicking on create button. Okay, now you come back to the Eclipse. Just do a refresh. You see the record. Okay, so here, if you observe, I have not written any code here. The framework I have used in the behavior definition, just where is it? Service behavior definition is here. So create, update, delete. Just that's all. Everything will take care by itself. There's nothing, no code is required at all. Okay, now yes, we have created a service binding. Okay, on what? Not only create, you can do update, you can do delete, edit also you can do by the framework itself. We'll get it everything. Okay, now my thing is I want to create a v4 version. Now right click on this service definition and create a new service binding. v4 I'm creating, you see, v4, and click next and finish button. So if you observe here, okay, now I'm going to just activate it. Now it is ODATA v4 without doing anything. Everything will be taken care by the, like nothing. You're not going from the scratch at all. You're just creating one more service binding based on the service definition, and that is called v4 version. Is it clear? Any questions?
That means service definition binding is not at all required in V4. Automatically comes.
Come again. What is it?
No, for V4 OData V4 version,
Hmm.
there is no service binding, service definition. Those all details, not extra steps, are not at all required.
Yeah, not required. Not to create a table, not to create a CDSU again, not to create a service definition again. You need to just create a service binding. That's all.
Okay.
That is the advantage of using RAP. Okay. Yeah. Any more questions? Now, what I'm going to do, right? I'm just getting into the BTP trial account. Then I'll go to the services, instance and subscriptions. Then I'm going to the business application studio. Go to the applications. Starting. Okay, now what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to consume my OData service, okay, into the business application studio, which is available in BTP. That is what which I'm going to do now. Okay. Any questions, guys, until now?
Sir, any difference between S4 HANA and Abap and HANA?
S4 HANA. See, Abap
Abap.
is available in S4 HANA system, right?
Okay. What is the Abap and HANA, sir?
Okay, that is your question.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay. So now when you talk about Abap and Hana means we are going to use they are going to use AMDP concepts to develop. They're going to use CDS view to develop. Okay, so that is called the Abap and Hana. Means in S4 HANA, we have a concept of Abap and Hana. There, using these techniques, we are going to develop. Is it clear?
Mm. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let it come. It's starting. Should in progress. So just check it. So what we are trying to achieve is we are trying to achieve developing Fiori applications. So what is Fiori? It is nothing. Everyone thinks it is a technology. No, Fiori it is not a technology. Then what it is? It is a platform. No, it is not a platform. Then what it is? It is just a UX interface provided by the SAP software. It is responsive, it is open, and it is personalization settings. Okay, what do you mean by responsive means whenever you develop a Fiori application, it should automatically support to the desktop, it should automatically support to the mobile device, it should automatically support to the tablet. That is, we call it as responsive open. You develop your application, UI application in any technology, but you need to follow the guidelines of the Fiori, then Fiori applications. Clear? And it has personalization settings also. As an end user, you can do some changes. Okay, so finally, SAP Fiori, it is not a technology, it is not a platform, it is just a guidelines to develop the user interface. Okay, so now what are the design principles? So when you say it is how you are going to say it is a Fiori application. If you follow this all these guidelines, then it is called the Fiori applications. What are those guidelines? Role based. Until the application is assigned to your user ID, you will not able to access it. That is called the role based. Design for you, your needs, how you work. Response to just now I spoke. Supports how and where you work anytime. You can open your Fiori application anywhere, anytime, any device. And that is called, we call it as response. What is simple? See, if you look at our transaction code ME21 or VS01, it is too complicated, too much tabs, too much fields. But when you are trying to develop any Fiori application, you should focus only on the important fields, that's all. So that you should make our Fiori application very simple. Then coherent, provide one fluid and seamless experience. For creating the sales order number, the screen is different. By creating the purchase order, the screen is different. By creating the invoice, the screen is different. But when in coming to the Fiori guidelines, all the apps, please use same template only so that end user will not get confused. So provides one fluid, seamless experience. Okay, and delightful. You should develop your Fiori application in such a delightful so that end user will have an emotional connection to work on it. So if you follow all these guidelines, then we call it as SAP Fiori application. Any questions? Understood what is SAP Fiori? Is it clear? No questions. Next. So now, before getting into the S4 HANA in-app extensions, let us develop the Fiori applications, right? File, open folder, projects. Let's click OK. File, new project from template. So now I'm going to use a template to develop my Fiori application. So what is the template I'm going to use? Is SAP Fiori generator. Start. Okay, so before consuming, now what you need to do, right? You have to go to view CF command palette, CF login to Cloud Foundry. I'm just entering my credentials. Let's leave about all the things anyway. We're going to discuss everything in detail level training.
This is Senthil. I joined late. This course only specifically for rap or what is that the course?
Yeah, it is specific to rap.
Rap.
Okay, and S4 HANA in-app and side-by-side extensions, SAP Fiori, CDS views. That is the high-level topics I'm talking about. Specific to rap.
You have mentioned
same development, the same rap development we are going to deploy it into Fiori or
no, we are going. No, come again. What is it? Sorry.
No, the same whatever we developed the application rap. We are going to deploy it into Fiori or what is the purpose of Fiori?
Its rap is nothing but with generating the ODATA service, which I just showed. right? This is the OData. So this OData service will be consuming into the Fiori, and which we call it as Fiori application.
Okay. I joined
Okay.
late, just a few
No,
minutes
that's
back.
fine. That's
Sorry.
fine. That's fine. That's fine. Clear, no? Okay. So now I'm creating a template which SAP is providing. I'm using one of the template called list report page template. Like we have reuse LV grid display, like that I have a predefined template. Okay. Now what you used to do in reuse LV, we used to bind the internal table, right? Here I'm going to bind my OData service. Okay. What is my OData service? You can see this is my OData service. I'll just copy this OData service, which is generated by RAP methodology. See, I'm binding my OData service to my template. Click next. Okay, click next.
So RAP is nothing but is creating a service, right? Or
Yeah, RAP is nothing but a framework, best practices it has, best libraries it has, where you can develop the OData service or API. Okay, and that OData service now you are consuming in the Fiori in the business application studio with the help of Fiori template. You are consuming that OData service.
okay, okay.
Okay, yeah. So now I think it is coming. We'll just wait. It is sales Fiori app. This one I will open this app individually in the business application student BTP projects. And click OK. Let's not discuss too much detail how it is happening and everything. Anyway, during training, we are going to discuss in and out. So, but I'm just telling, just check high level only. Understand the high level. So now I'm going to click on 3 lines, run configurations. Okay. Configurations. Let's see whether he is able to. It is telling space is not there. Let's see.
So no question. This wrapped application service we can deploy to any other third-party service also, right?
RAP is a OData service. They can consume this OData service, not deploy. You understood?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
See, I'm from functional side. So just want to clarification. What is OData service means? Is it like a app or
No. OData service is a protocol where using that protocol, you are exposing your data from your server to the outside world using that protocol.
Oh, okay.
RAP is like interface, correct, sir?
No, RAP is RAP is not an okay. You can think like an interface methodology only, but it has its own frameworks and own libraries, and yeah, you can think it is interface development only. Yes, absolutely. Okay, yeah. So now what I did, I developed a SAP Fiori application, and I have consumed my OData service, and I'm able to see the data. You can see the data, right? I can show the data. Clear? Any questions until now? So now this is called a Fiori application. So now if I right click and inspect, okay, if I go to the toggle device, okay, and if you look at this, I will refresh this one. So now it is displaying in the iPhone. Okay, automatically, okay, see, I'm just clicking on go button. And now you can see automatically you are able to responsive has happened automatically. Okay, now I want to display in the Samsung Galaxy. Automatically the response. So this is, we call it as responsive. automatically it will get fit to the any devices. Okay, yeah. Any more questions, guys? Anyone have any questions until now?
While developing the wrap, so is it required to know about the CDS view also, right?
Come
The
again. What
data
is the
model.
question?
No, data model. So we need
In
to apply the CDS view only, correct?
CS,
CDS.
CDS. Yeah, Abap CDS views we are going to use. I think we have already done also, no? This is
Yeah,
Abap
no, I
CDS
joined a
view.
few minutes back. Okay, sorry.
Okay, no problem. I will give the recording video. You can access the recording video.
Okay, okay.
I'll share. Okay, yeah. Now coming back to our PPT. Now let's come to the S4 HANA in-app extensions. Now, very, very important topic. Okay. Now this is a revolution in ABAP. I would say not a SAP, ABAP, not RAP here. This is not RAP. Okay. So now, if we want to extend the standard Fiori apps, you can use using these apps called custom fields, and you can extend the standard Fiori app without any code. Okay, you can now all SC18, SC19 we used to create baddies, user exits, and everything. No, everything will get deprecated. Everything will be custom business object and custom business logic. Okay, now we have used the Eclipse and we developed the CDS views. Not required that also. You can, there is a standard feed of custom CDS views. Using that custom feed CDS view standard file, you can develop a feed. You can develop a CDS view. Okay, there is a manage KPIs. Using this manage KPIs, you can develop the KPIs. Okay, you can use key user tools. You can hide the apps. You can delete the columns, and you can do a lot using the key user tools and UI adaptation and runtime. So this is the new revolutions which are available in S4 HANA. So your user exits, baddies, enhancements. There will be no GUI only future. So everything we'll be doing using these apps. This is called S4 HANA in-app extensions. This is part of my training. Is it clear? Any questions? Next. So what is called side-by-side extensions? Okay. So let us assume that you have a SAP BTP platform where you are developing your Fiori application. Just now we have done Fiori application, business application studio, and you are consuming in a ODATA service which is there available in on-premises system. Okay, so you are developed a OData service in on-premises system. You are developing UI in the front BTP. So this is, we call it as side case, and we call it as side-by-side extensions. Is it clear, guys? Any questions? Understood what is side-by-side extensions? So not only this use case, side-by-side extension can be anything. Suppose you are developing the OData service and your third-party system is developing the UI, and that is also called side-by-side extension. That is also called side-by-side because you are developing your OData in your system and he is developing the UI in his system. This is called side-by-side case. Is it clear, guys? Next. Now coming back to the topics which I'm going to cover during my training. Just going there, give me 1 minute. Okay, so now I'll quick start with SAP evolution of Abap programming model, introduced to RAP, then I'll go to CDS view, introduction to Abap CDS view, syntax rules, table functions, built-in expressions. These are all CDS views, built-in functions, associations, cardinalities, okay, input parameters, coordinates of rules, everything will be covering, value helps, everything. Then we'll discuss about what is virtual data model. Okay, then I'll be developing the list report object page, analytical list page Fiori app, overview page Fiori app, all using RAP methodologies. Okay, so we will be using the extending activation developing the Fiori applications and deploying our Fiori applications to on-premises system as well as on BTP, and we'll be displaying as a tile in the Fiori launchpad by creating catalogs, tiles, groups. Okay, and this is a complete SAP Fiori security, okay, PFCG roles. Okay, we will be using new concepts called spaces and pages. This is a new concept: space, pages, sections, styles, catalogs, create groups, roles creations, configuring KPIs, activation of the standard Fiori apps, custom Fiori apps, debugging the standard Fiori apps, which all we'll be doing. Then we'll be doing extension of the standard Fiori apps also. We'll be doing using the in-app extensions. Like we'll be developing in-app extensions, SAP user extensibility, custom fields, custom logic, extensions of the standard Fiori app, creating side-by-side extensions, everything we'll be doing. Now we will be going to develop the KPIs also, and also we will be developing the wrap applications, managed use case, unmanaged use case, EML, entity manipulation language. We'll implement all the CRUD operations. Okay, we will be discussing about e-tag, lock master, field, troubleshooting the Fiori apps, implementing the feature controls, disable, enable actions, service definitions, service bindings, everything we'll be doing. Yeah, we'll be doing custom entity implementations, custom entity for data modeling. Okay, data model in CDS views, everything we are going to do. Okay, we are going to do in detail unmanaged use case. Okay, we will be developing, and also we will implement unmanaged use case in wrap, implementing consuming BAPIs. Okay, we will be doing uploading the attachments. Okay, how to consume a external API in your wrap application, that is called side-by-side extensions, multi selections, everything we'll be doing. Then using the cloud transport management service, we will be moving our SAP Fiori applications from one sub account to another sub account, and we will integrate from Bash to the GitHub, and also we will do CI/CD continued integrations also we will be doing. Okay, this all the things we will be doing in the training, and every day the class will be 1.5 hours. Okay, it will be Monday to Friday. Okay, on once the class is over, okay, after 1 or 2 hours I'll be uploading what are the programs which are covered on that day. I'll be uploading programs, and as well as PPT where you can download, and also I'll be uploading the recording video of that class where you will be having view access for 1 year. Okay, and coming back to the every Friday, I'll be giving exercises based on the topic which are covered on that week. Once the training is completed, I'll be sharing interview question answers, study material, and resume template. And whatever the training which I'm covering, it's all real-time project which I have worked. That only I put in this training. Okay.
Do you provide dump questions, sir? Dump
what?
certification related?
No. Mine is completely real-time projects. Okay. So now I am starting my new batch from November 17th onwards. Yeah. Any questions, guys?
Did we get the practice environment?
Yeah, there is we'll discuss about it. There is an external vendor who is providing S4 Hana 2023 version. Even if you look at this is the one server which I'm talking about, where you will be having Eclipse, SAP S4 Hana system 2023. Okay, you will be having cloud connector, SAP Fiori launchpad designer, everything is set up is there in the system.
How many months access are this S4 HANA?
Okay, so coming I will discuss about that point. Any apart from that question, any questions? Apart from that, anyone have any questions?
You have mentioned this name of the course is BTP RAP. So are
Yes.
you covering anything of BTP, like BTP
Yeah,
training?
absolutely. If you go back here in my training, this SAP Cloud Transport Management Service in BTP, continuous integration and delivery service in BTP. Okay, and coming back to this all Fiori app, overview page Fiori app, analytical page Fiori app, list report page Fiori app, everything we are going to use Business Application Studio service to develop in BTP. Okay, and coming back to the SAP build workshop. I didn't put it. Okay, how come? Somewhere I have to kept. SAP Build Work Zone service is one of the service in BTP to display the Fiori Launchpad also. Okay, I don't know, I misread in there. I will add it, not an issue. Okay, I will be using BTP, and also we are going to use RAP services. Abap service in BTP we are going to use, and we are going to develop RAP applications in BTP. Managed use case, unmanaged use case, everything we'll be developing in on-premises as well as in BTP.
Okay. So in the BTP they just add it, so you will be using that also, BTP.
Yes, BTP. See, BTP is a ocean, and RAP is one of Abap service in BTP is one of the part in that ocean. And that I'm going to cover. Apart from the Abap service in BTP, SAP Cloud Transport Management, SAP Business Application Studio, SAP Build Work Zone, SAP Continuous Integrations. We are going to use those services and in BTP. And I'm going to give clear detail of BTP, what is BTP, what it contains, everything we are going to discuss in the training.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more
CAP
questions?
also one of the BT portion also.
CAP is different training which I'm giving. That is different. That is also part of BTP. I'm giving various trainings. One is CAP, RAP, SAP UFI, CPI. These are the 4 trainings I'm giving.
CAP also BTP or different modulars?
We are going to develop the CAP applications in BTP, but what is the difference is in RAP we use Abap methodology, in CAP we use Node.js or Java.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. Any more questions?
Abap is this is the particularly this course
This
for
training is particularly for Abap.
Abap.
Yes.
For CAPM is a different
Different
Java node.
training. Yes, that is a different training, not Java. We are not going to use Java. I'm going to use Node.js to develop.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions?